Well, greetings. This is Cosmic Kev with the Planetary Persuader, and this episode is for Friday, the 5th of October through the 12th, 2018. Now, looking at the sky today, the moon is in the constellation of Leo in Vedic sidereal, but it's also in Leo until like 4:13 today, Pacific Daylight Time in the Western Zodiac, the tropical zodiac, which most of you are much more familiar with, and that's what we base our little sign-by-sign horoscopes on, is on sun signs and rising signs. Probably more so by your rising sign, if you know your rising sign, which is the constellation that's rising in the east at the time you're born. But because we're not doing Jyotish or Vedic strictly, you're going to have to move it. It's not the actual constellation unless you're doing Jyotish or sidereal astrology. Because the Western astrology, the tropical zodiac's based on seasons, so that's why I like to bring that. But I love bringing the wives of the moon, the lunar mansions, in at the beginning of every forecast, because this is deep ancient wisdom. And the thing about this particular Leo moon, this particular part of the sky, is this is where our intuition is. This is where we've been handed down some good support, so we can channel some really good, intuitive, magical energy. And I'm going to go into Western astrology right now, your horoscope, sign by sign, beginning with you, Aries. Okay, so, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. I think you're feeling good today. I think things are working out. Now, what we're moving from here, I've always thought that, in the Western Zodiac, the moon in late Leo, early Virgo is probably one of the most magical places. I find it completely energizing, and there's a spirit of both grandeur and humility all tied together, so it's perfect. There's like this sweet balance. And so you take your creative expression and it starts working towards where you're serving other people, where you're fitting in the world, and you're having something to offer. And it's also like, I'd say this is a good weekend to kind of lay low, do home projects, do projects with other people, work on your health, and from that place, you'll be elevated to work on other people's health and help with other people's projects too. So this is beautiful. And one of the things that in my own community is happening is like people are doing group work trades. Like everybody gets together and helps clean one person's house one week, and then the next week we do another. And so you get it done 3 or 4 times as fast, and you're having more fun because you got your people with you. And so what a beautiful thing is, like, we can support each other. So Aries, I encourage that. Don't just go it alone. This is a time for partnership. This is a time to work with each other. This is a time where you're going to have sweet romance. And, if you do have a partner, if you meet somebody, it's probably going to be pretty magic. That's what I'm thinking. At least I want it to be magic for you. Well, hello, Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Uranus moving retrograde. So the Uranian effect is mostly for the April-born Tauruses. A lot of stimulation, a lot of excitement. I just say, keep in mind, this is also a time to find innovations in health and innovations for ecology. And the last time Uranus was in Taurus, that's like when the CCCs happen and stuff, and so that was a really cool thing, Conservation Corps. It's like, that's what we need right now. We need to, I think, convert our military to environmental jobs. That would help. That would help you, Taurus. Your romantic life, this is kind of a crescendo of something great, this week. I see something better happening for you in the world of romance this week. And one thing I forgot to mention is that there is a new moon this Monday, and I believe it's in, let's see, well, I think that's the nakshatra of Shitra, the early Virgo part. So this is going to bring it's a great time to start a new art project. And the other thing is Venus is going retrograde, or went retrograde, on yesterday on the 5th Pacific Daylight Time, like in the afternoon. And so, relationships are going to intensify. And I think we want a love that's more real. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on for the next 6 weeks. A love that's more real. As Venus gets closer to us, and it's in your 7th house. Oh my God, it's going to be fun. Okay. Or it's, going to be, oh no. All right, and I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing it in people's lives. Things changing very quickly. So, greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. What can I do for you here? What can I do for you? Well, Libra times is heart-opening time for Gemini. It is time to focus on children, creative expression, education, lifting things up, making things happen in a better way. And you're about to make things happen in a better way. So, the aesthetics of the workplace changing just a little bit with Venus retrograde. And romance at the workplace. Oh yeah, that person you flirt with by the water cooler, and nod and wink when the restroom's empty, or or the cafeteria, or wherever it is that you go to get a little closer. That can happen. There's a deepening though. You know that we're all vulnerable, and so even though you're having kind of fun, there is a sense of like, wow, things could change rapidly, and I've got to watch my P's and Q's. And but I think your health is going to improve in a lot of ways, and I think it's a time to kind of recycle some of your clothes and get some new duds and make yourself look good, especially in the workplace. Well, hello, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So, what do we got? Well, you're already got this reputation for being a homebody, and Libra time rules your 4th house, which is the home, but it also is real estate. It's also your mother. It could be your father. And evolutionary astrologer Stephen Forrest, he likes to consider it to be the mother, the father place, rather. I find that really interesting, but definitely in Jyotish and Vedic astrology, 4th house transit always more mother-oriented. And it's, it's about the moon too. So, okay, so we start out moon in the 2nd house. I mean, that means, it might have been a family flow, an economic flow, might be feeling your voice a little bit more, getting your voice. And this weekend's all about communication. And then there's this new moon. Oh my goodness, yes. There's a new moon in that 4th house. So you feel really sensitive. And you feel really empathetic and in touch with the people around you. And it's a beautiful thing. And this also could stimulate memories. Now, the other deal is that Mercury is going to go into your 5th house later on this week, right? Yeah. So we got Mercury going into the 5th house on Tuesday. And Tuesday, late afternoon. And so creative ideas really get powerful. And for a brief second there, it's like we're in this constellation of Saraswati, we call it. Ooh, in the 5th house. And so this is going to be great. There's like a blessing coming to you in that couple-day period there, that, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's this blessing. And be sensitive, be attentive, know about this, this blessing. Okay, so, hello, Leo. And welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so, Libra time, 3rd house. And sometimes, we talk about exaltations and debilitated planets sometimes in astrology, and so whether they're the same in the Western and the Vedic sidereal zodiac, except they're in different signs, normally, not always. So this is debilitated sun. So it's kind of an ego-crushing time for Leo. It's like, Do I have to deal with my brother and sister again? Oh my gosh, my neighbors, they're driving me nuts. And it's like, you gotta realize sometimes the sun can burn a hole because of the ego too brightly in the areas. And it's like, we learn to negotiate. Well, we got this new moon coming up in that third house. And it's like, what do you do artistically? What do you do for poetry? You know, so I think that's one of the things to put out there in your life. It's like we're moving in this direction now where we're headed towards the sun and the moon are heading into Shitra, which is ruled by Vashtar and is like this celestial architect. So we're designing things. You know, and so working with your hands, creating this design, super important right now. Super important. So I would roll with that. All right. Okay. Greetings, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay. All right. So pulling out the stops here. Friday feels good. I mean, Friday's energy is just beautiful. You know, you're getting birthed. You know, think of that. Like you're getting birthed. This whole weekend is kind of birthing you into something new, something different. And then, you know, Sunday evening, moon goes into Libra. And then by Monday evening, you know, a little bit before 9 o'clock, like 8:47, you're going to have this new moon. And so this new moon's in your second house. So the second house is about finding your voice. It's about your family. It's about making money. It's about improving the conditions of your neck. And ears, lower jaw, dental work, all that stuff is ruled by this new moon. So there's surprisingly a lot to work on right now. But I think your voice is going to get better. I think that with this new moon, your finances are going to improve. I also think with this new moon, there's going to be some sense of family resolve and recognition, or a mutual project that you all could get involved with that's kind of fun. And so that's a good thing. And I think that, you know, from late Friday afternoon through most of Sunday, it's like you're kind of like stage center, Virgo, and things are improving in every way. And it's just sometimes it's a little bit darker before the dawn. And keep working on your spiritual practice, you know, with that North Node in the 12th house, you know, and keep helping other people, because you elevate your status whenever we serve in a good way. And even the stuff I said last week, you know, keep it positive, be thankful, be grateful. Boom. That's it. All right. Well, hello, Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, lunar nakshatras, you know, I talk about them. Maga for Friday, and Purva Falguni on Saturday, and Uttara Falguni on Sunday, and then Hasta on most of Monday. But by Monday night, we move into, with this new moon, we move into Shitra, the celestial architect. And it's powerful Tuesday, because Tuesday we wake up with this new moon, and Shitra is, you know, is partially ruled by Mars. And on Tuesday it's very auspicious. So it's a powerful new moon that it happens on Monday. In the United States anyhow, and in Europe and Asia it happens on Tuesday, which is really powerful because of the Mars rulership, but it's moon, and so Monday is still always powerful for a newer full moon on Monday. So this beginning is, how do we want to be creative? How do we want to arrange things? How do we want to perfect things? You know, one of the symbols for that particular lunar mansion is the pearl. So we want to shine through with our best ability right now. And there's still, this is the last week of Jupiter in Vedic Libra. You know, it's still in Scorpio, but in the second house in a really powerful way for you, is what I'd say. Along with Venus in the second house, albeit retrograde. I am one who goes more with the sidereal Vedic zodiac in a lot of ways. What they say about retrograde planets is they get closer to the Earth, they slow down, so their beam is actually more powerful. You know, and some Western astrologers, they say, oh, well, Venus is going to internalize. So we're going to really be doing a lot of reflection on how we feel about love, what we got and what we didn't get. And so that can be really tough sometimes. Because I'd say most of us didn't get the love we needed. But you know what? Most of us know something about being loving people. And guess what? We are the people we've been waiting for. We can give that love to each other. We can elevate and lift each other up to a new level. And I'm excited about this. Okay. All right then. Okay. So, greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Jupiter and Venus still working for you in the first house this week. Yay! It's a happy place. These are the two benefic planets. Venus helps the common man. Jupiter helps the uppity-ups and the spiritual teachers and gurus. And so there's this upliftment, this general upliftment. And guess what? It's in your first house. That means you have full grasp of the grahas, or the planets. You know, grahas is a Sanskrit word for the planet. It means grabbers, because this is what planets really do, folks, is they grab onto your energy. And every one of us, you know, even if your sun's in Scorpio, you're Scorpio rising, and you're watching this, it's like we're all every sign of the zodiac. Mars in the fourth house, you know, there's that restlessness. It's like, I don't know if I'm really satisfied right now about how I feel, about my parents, my ancestry, my place of living. This also could be a time where you buy a new vehicle, you know, or sell your vehicle, or sell your house, or buy a new house. There's some of that going on. I mean, most of us will not be doing that, okay, because those are big things that don't happen, you know, every year for most of us. You know, some people do move every year or buy a new car every year, or, you know, but I'm not one of those people. I even keep old bikes. Let's see. We've got Uranus in the 7th house. So there's going to be some unusual surprises, even though Uranus is retrograde in relationships. You know, some just unusual surprises, especially affecting you if you're an October Scorpio. I'd say more so, or early degrees. You know, or if you have planets in the early degrees of Scorpio, that Uranus is doing an interface. So it's inspiring, challenging, looking at them. Uranian things are like futuristic, and they're kind of shocking, and sometimes erratic, and sometimes kind of angry and flip. And so always good to be careful. And like I said, Scorpio last week, it's still kind of lay low time. I mean, this new moon really gets the dreamscape in, your psychic awareness goes up, and it's like, you know, make peace with your enemies, forgive everyone, and then move forward to a better place. Okay. So now we're talking Sagittarius talk. Okay. So greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, this day, Friday, should feel pretty good. You know, a good day for travel, a good day for higher philosophy, a good day of good fortune. You know, the weekend, more about your career, more about your standing in public, and what kind of talents and skills you bring, you know, how you really fit in, what your ability. And you're getting some recognition. This is a time where you get recognition, so some things are really functioning. Jupiter, Venus in the 12th house, still this week. You know, Mercury moving there too. Pay attention to your dreams. And it's a beautiful dreamscape. You know, I mean, I'd say that constellation Saraswati. I mean, I should have said that goes probably even more so to Scorpio. You're able to do something brilliant that's really honorable and really is uplifting to everyone, especially in the fields of education and arts, you know, and find that in your dreamscape and then move that forward, pay that forward. That's going to be a beautiful thing. What's the new moon about? Well, new moon's your social life. I mean, friends that help you, friends that are in high places, sometimes older siblings, older sister maybe, can lift it to another level. And it's also like listening, applying the wisdom you've learned somewhere and putting it into practice. But generally it's like meetings, working with groups of people, and thinking towards the future. And so that's where the power is in that. Alright, let's bring it forward again. Pay forward, pay forward, pay forward. Okay. So, Capricorn. You know, one thing I'd say is like this constellation of Saraswati thing. You know, and that's whenever you get Mercury, Venus, Jupiter together. It is going to bring about a better social life for you. Really good meetings with people. And I know it's kind of like political season too. And there's going to be some really good ideas. And like this new moon could bring a fresh start to your career. Maybe you've been out of work for a while, need to go back to work, need to bring some things forward, need to do some things. And maybe you've wanted to work in a way that's more creative, or maybe you want to work on architecture or design in some way. This moon really supports those subjects. So I see you doing really better in that. I also see like a lot of inspiration from your children, from your creative projects, that's going to help you move forward. And that the thing is to try and guard against really harsh speech. You know, with Mars in the second house, it's like, okay, you're impatient to get it out. And I mean, sometimes that's appropriate. It's like, look out, you're going to get hit by a car. You know, there's a fire, you know. I mean, and then those times Mars speech is very appropriate, you know. Okay? But in most cases, especially here in Northern California, we have to speak gentlelese. Ease ourselves into gentle, non-violent communication. Let's generally toning down our confrontation vibe to be, oh, this is an opportunity to improve things. Yeah, so you don't want things to be too heated. Constellation Saraswati is in the 11th house, like I said, you know, political, good things, you know, happening. You know, you have to share your power a little bit today. It's going to be a good weekend for travel for you, though. I think there's a lot of good fortune for Capricorn this week. Well, hello now, Aries, and welcome to your horoscope. Aquarius. Pardon me. Hello, Aquarius. Start this over. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, all right. Well, we've got Saturn in the 12th house, which actually is a pretty good place for it to be. It's an old planet in an old house. We love it. Pluto's there as well. So it's in that final resting place. You know, it's in that dream space before we really wake up. And pay attention to those dreams. Dreams are here to teach us stuff. They're not always pleasant, you know. I have to admit, you know, sometimes things can be pretty upsetting. And that's okay. You know, compassion. I look at this constellation of Saraswati in your 10th house. It's like you're about to do really good work, and some of the things that you've been planning on doing and making happen are going to get excellent recognition. Keep working on it. There should be more of an ease. There should be more of a flow to your work that feels right. And then we've got this new moon. And this new moon's about travel. It's about higher education in your chart. And it's also about like borrowing from like maybe other cultures, exotic art plans, design plans. I mean, I love how like in India, the Middle East, Russia, there's minarets, you know, those like beautiful, you know, tops of buildings that look like soft serve ice cream. You know, a little tip to it. They look like a little nipple on top, you know. I love it. Not to get too Freudian or objectification, because biology has led culture to some dangerous situations, and it's you just ask to take a picture if it's okay. You know, some people really like to get in front of the camera, so you might be rewarded with some eye candy. I don't know. You're adventuresome right now. You're taking risks. You're confronting things. Your family is like more concerned with aesthetics, spiritual stuff. Maybe somebody's involved in alcohol you're concerned with, or a drug problem, you know, and so working on clearing that up, or maybe even yourself, you know, consuming the wrong things, you know, and just making sure that you're not being deceived. I think overall, though, you're going to make it work in a good way. And relationship-wise, hopefully you get fulfillment that a good person that wants to uplift things, you know. And they might have no bottom for you. Yikes, no bottom for you. Well, I mean, hopefully they have a nice bottom. Oh, nice face is good too. It's all good. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. You know what makes a nice face is just smiling. Having a good intention. You know, bringing that positive intention. Right now you're concerned with aesthetics. You're concerned with a higher spiritual vision. You want to take people to better places than they've ever been to before. You are in a place right now where you really can be the wisest person on the street this week because of that constellation of Saraswati being, for most of you, in the 9th house. You know, and that is the house of education, higher education, foreign travel, higher law, spiritual law, wisdom of the guru. And so you're getting some real authentic wisdom here right now even. Yeah. This new moon, what's it about? It's about transformation. It's about letting go of things you really don't have power over, and that's okay. Let other people have the power for a little bit. It actually feels good to kind of sit back and relax. So this wonderful female comedian, she was like going, you know, it wasn't like we women were lazy about getting to the top. It was just like, fighting over at Waterloo? No, I think I'll clean the kitchen instead. You know, there is a feminine wisdom in a lot of ways to relaxing ambition. And traditionally, they are the hearth of keeping family together. And right now, as more women are getting in the career world, you know, we brothers, we men, we have to step up and be more integrated to house chores, but also to the nurturing and the rearing and the bringing closer together of our siblings and our children and our grandchildren and even our elderly parents and grandparents, you know, helping them and bringing it forward in a good way. And you've got that, you know, you've got that good intention. There might be some like health issues, physical things you need help with. It's okay to work on that. And I think it's all going to get better as we go through the week. It's all going to get better because it's all going to reach to this place of like by the end of the week you'll be feeling, wow, I am so fortunate. I am so blessed. And you're going to extend that blessing to other people. And you're going to share it with me on this webpage of YouTube, and you're going to tell a friend, you're saying, man, Cosmic Kev brings something different every week, and I get a different understanding of astrology in a different level. Thanks. Like it, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Share it, and let's do this again next week. Planetary Persuader with me, Cosmic Kev.